Alrighty then. So we need to go to the beach, which is where we're at right now. Freddy. I think it's Freddy. Because Freddy will give us an extra... What's this mouth-watering smell? Oh, this year strictest shellfish freshly picked from the beach and steamed to perfection. I want beetles too, to add some zest to the recipe, you know. What's up? It sounds like a classic Freddy dish. I've shut him down every time he's offered me one of his creations. I'd better try one so I don't hurt his feelings. Okay, serve me up. Now we're talking. A helping of his novelty cuisine, which Reen shoved into his mouth with commendable bravery. It has a peculiar taste, but it really grows on you. Freddy's cooking isn't bad as long as you just blank out well everything that goes into it. Thanks, Freddy. It really was delicious. I'm amazed you could put together a first-class meal in this setting. Oh, you're making me blush, Instructor. Glad you liked it. Oh. So, slightly delayed, but we're live with day 26 of Trails of Cold Steel 4. Anyway, my bad. Now, on to Restaurant Fortuna! So I need to apparently use every single one of the crafts we have. I'm assuming it's not going to force me to use Demon and Chain, but whatever. Looks like you're enjoying the evening, but I wonder if you would have time to discuss something. Please be aware that some content quests will be no longer available after talking to Cassius. Talk to Cassius! There's something specific I need to tell you. I have received a letter from Master Kafai. I heard he sent you one when he was traveling. He sent it from Long Lai. It was probably because you were captured and Ymir was sealed off. It seems the Intelligence Division's Mark managed to track him down on his travels. Don't tell me something... Actually, never mind. It's him we're talking about. He was about to be worried about his teacher, and it's like, no, wait, what am I saying? Though they were only sent as a warning, he chased them off with little effort. I say the Intelligence Division, but it's supposedly a different section than Arundel's. They're tasked with foreign affairs, and they seem to be active all over the continent. I heard about its existence from Altina. What do you have to say then? As you already know, the initial stage of the 8 Leaf School is to fully understand all of the form fundamentals in their entirety. In that regard, those who have been permitted to leave Master Kafai's side have been set on the path to mastery of the style. You now stand at the end of that path. Does that mean you're going to step in for him? Yes, I will see if you have absorbed our final teachings in Master Kafai's place. It won't take too long. Do you have time now? Holy shit! Apparently we get another S-craft for this, which, you know, that just makes this entire thing worth it. Michelin. Oh, and the one-armed Viscount is going to be watching. Allow me to relay to you what Master Kafai wrote in his letter. Reen, it would seem you have found yourself in a most dire situation. Even so, I believe you will overcome these obstacles blocking your path. I believe you can persevere despite all your struggles. I have therefore decided to avoid Ymir and keep myself hidden, that I may pass you this message through Cassius. There is, after all, a high possibility of you happening upon your fellow disciple for the first time in the midst of these turbulent days. Though you've already reached the intermediate level, I'm certain you are yet capable of more. You have been ever since the moment you mastered the formidable ogre within you. All you require now is proof. To earn it, you will need to conquer yourself. Only when you succeed will you be promoted, as is our tradition. Master Kafai, this is a lot to take in. How exactly am I supposed to conquer myself? The two may not be entirely comparable, but I remember hearing from Victor that you bore witness to a challenge not unlike this one 2 months ago. Oh. That's right, between his lordship and Principal Le Guin. Behind that single strike you saw was an infinite number of possible outcomes, playing out within our minds. I believe Countess Le Guin was trying to confirm for herself just how far she had mastered her blade. In that sense, I was akin to a mirror, perfectly matching her stroke for stroke. I see, so he is I, and I am him. You've come quite far as it is, if you already understand that much. That sword. That is not the sword you once wielded. Indeed, my blade has long since been thrown aside. I borrowed the sword from a former subordinate, one who also followed the path of the 8 Leaves. Despite not being a direct disciple, he nevertheless possesses an instinct greater than my own. I see, how very curious. You must mean Colonel Richard of the Royal Army, or ex-colonel since the coup attempt. I hear you started a private research firm post-pardoning. I will soon be changing the form you perceive me as. You will then see me as that which you feared most deeply. I'm sure you can imagine what that may be. It's either gonna be his dad or his inner ogre. Oddly enough. Yes, I can. But I know what I have to do. I have to confront this here now. I'm ready to face the challenge before me, Cassius Bright, my fellow disciple. Nobly spoken, Rean Schwarzer. I, Victor Arcade, will be honored to stand as your witness. The 8 leaves, 1 blade school.
We will begin the trial of the 8 leaves, 1 blade. Let us see if you are worthy.
Oh no!
What is your name?
Rean Schwarzer, an intermediate level disciple of the 8 leaves, 1 blade school.
Which form will you demonstrate mastery of?
The 7th form, Void, the nothingness that contains all.
He is I, and I am him.
I am him, and he is I.
Will you offer yourself to him to reach the peak of swordsmanship?
No, I will exist alongside him. We will be as one. The sword I seek is that of the Void, the gleaming blade that illuminates the darkness.
Then show me the light at the end of your journey.
Oh! Question mark, question mark, question mark! Oh no!
Show me by conquering yourself.
Oh no! Shit. A million shits. Ah, yes! Ogreine. I called it!
Now begin the trial of the Divine Blade, the peak of the 8 leaves.
Move.
I love that! The possession! Show mastery of all crafts to reach the peak of swordsmanship. Craft. Oh, we can't use it! Oh, we don't have an S-craft in this. Oh, dear.
Crimson Flash! I'm up! Cut through! Disappear!
He's mirroring me! He's mirroring me! And he's at full HP somehow.
Arcane Gale! Ha!
Despair.
Die! I'm up! Roar! Helix Strike! Die!
Epiphany.
All right, got it.
Recognize the S-craft Breaking Dawn!
It's my turn.
And he's got 200 CP! Oh, I can't use it. I was about to, like, can I go Ogre mode? Oh, well. 4S All! An 8 leaves technique that drives back the darkness, removes positive effects. Oh my god.
Eternally flowing. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form.
First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8 leaves. Breaking Dawn!
Holy shit!
Well done.
The duel is over. The victor is Rean Schwarzer.
Oh, let's fucking go! I kind of want to see Reen just go full ogre mode and be like, "You have come a long way, young Reen. Thank you, Lieutenant General. General. I finally understand what my master was trying to teach me. I can feel it, body and soul. The 8 Leaves is more than just a technique of tradition. It has to come from within you. Precisely, you have proven yourself more than ready. I'll now read the scroll the master enclosed in his letter.
Reen Schwarzer, you have mastered the techniques of the 8 Leaves One Blade School. You are granted the title Divine Blade. You may now take on disciples of your own.
I accept. Though on second thought, I'm not so sure I really deserve being called a Divine Blade. Arios and I have both walked upon this very same path. You will be the Master's last direct disciple. It is up to you how you accept the responsibility of the title bestowed upon you. I see. Then in that case, I wholeheartedly accept. I feel most privileged to have been present for this moment. Yeah, I kind of wish Laura was here too. I suspect the others will agree with my sentiment. Huh? Oh, never mind. Everybody's here. Congratulations on your promotion. That move was incredible, even if I barely followed along. The way you wielded your sword was a sight unlike any other. It certainly was. I could hardly take my eyes away from you. Muse, that's your normal. You finally made it, Reen. What you did was inspiring beyond words. Well, when did all of you get here? You must have really been in the zone back there. Ain't you supposed to be good at sensing other people's presences and or whatever? Guess he was just too focused to notice little old us. Even Oliver? Literally everybody's here! Except George and Angelica. I can't seem to see the... Millium's spirit is here! I love it. I guess so. Thank you, everyone. All of you. I wouldn't have made it this far without your help. You deserve it, Reen. Warms my heart to see you grow like this. So should we start calling you Divine Blade Schwarzer now instead of the Ashen Chevalier? You'll certainly need a spiffier moniker than that. Along the lines of the Divine Blade of Wind, perhaps. I don't know about all that just yet. Come on, drop the humble and swagger up for once. The Divine Blade of Ash, maybe. Is that too obvious? I'm not sure Ash himself would like that very much. What about the Divine Blade of Light? He does light up our lives after all. Oh, how about the Divine Blade of Dawn? The 7th form was Void, right? Let's call him the Divine Blade of Zero. That actually sounds pretty cool. They all seem more than satisfactory to me. Well, I for one don't very much appreciate him barreling ahead of me like this to begin with. Doobly's like, yeah, what the hell? Doobly's like, hey! It's like, does it really matter? It's not like we'll actually call him anything different in the end. That's exactly right. To us, Reen will always be Reen. Congratulations, Reen. I'm proud of you. Hey! Reen's friends and colleagues congratulated him as he thanked them for their support. Lieutenant General Bright and Viscount Arcade then returned to patrolling Michelin for the night. Reen can now use the S-Craft Breaking Dawn! I gotta make sure that's the S-Break. I kinda wanna see what Ogre mode, Reen 3. Oh, let's check it out. Class 7, Reen. Ishmelga, blah, his Ebon Knight is the cause of many tragedies. Divine Blade, Reen underwent a trial from his senior disciple. His efforts earned him the title of Divine Blade. Here's God's experience a kind of friendship. Saint Leanne. Milliam lives on in an astral form. Her cheerful spirit miraculously unbroken. Yeah, a lot of these I will never be able to finish. Like Crows, I missed Crows. I'm not sure if it was second or third, but I missed one of them. Probably both, actually. So I can't finish all the character notes because it requires like multiple runs and whatnot. Battle records, 249 out of 490. Whew. So Reed is now a Divine Blade. Interesting. I have no idea how to end the night. I will of course be going through each of the final bonding events.
Now.
And letting it play out. And then once we're finished with that and the day is over, I'm gonna obviously end this section of the stream. And then I want to test something before logging out. And that test something is I'm gonna be loading up Final Fantasy 14. Let's see. The many sub-events of this game. So sorry about my father. He can be so quick-tempered. Ah, it's fine. I had to come in anyway. That's what I get for putting it off so long. Huh? What do you mean? Well, I was thinking. I mean, if everything goes right tomorrow, if we both make it through okay, maybe I should finally go introduce myself to your family. You know, do it right this time. Do you mean it? Listen, we got a hard road ahead of us, but there's no one I'd rather walk it with than you, Mary. I feel the same way, Makarov. Wow, I'm glad I got to be here for this. Been rooting for them since I was a student, so it's great to see them find some happiness in all this chaos. Nice! Good evening. Looks like you fine fellows are having a splendiferous time. How about we take this opportunity to help strengthen the bonds of our friendship? What say you? Ayn told me about this. You really do pester people when you're sloshed, huh? Didn't you used to be an instructor at Thor's main campus? Anyway, would you mind not breathing on me like that? You reek of alcohol. Now, don't be like that. Come on, don't be so cold. I brought snacks, and I'm willing to share. Oh boy, well, we know Instructor Thomas is a happy drunk at least. Mission in Wonderland is open from 9 AM until 10:30 PM. The Sky Lantern event takes place on Lakeside Beach at 10 PM. Sky Lanterns, I'm guessing those must be the ones floating out on the lake. And they must send them flying at night to illuminate the night sky. That does sound pretty magical. Goes to show why this theme park is hyped up as the best in all Zemuria. Well, I've mastered the leave style and used up all of my tickets. It's a lot for one day. I should think of getting some sleep, especially considering what awaits me tomorrow. You can now select Call It a Day with L2X from the Arcus menu. The story will progress to select this option. If you accept any invitations or promise to meet someone, special events will take place. I have not used up all my tickets. Our day on a day. Hey, the general here told me you reached some kind of crazy milestone. Congratulations. But I'm sure you don't need me to tell you not to let this go to your head, right? Right, this isn't the end for me. It's only the beginning. I must admit, seeing two high-level 8 Leaves practitioners going at it lit a fire within me as well. Oh yeah! Two masters of the 8 Leaves, one blade, just going at it! Oh, and Cassius just mirroring me. As well. Care to join me for a sparring session, Wallace? I want to work some of that excitement off. Sure, if that's what you want, count me in. I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear this from, but don't push yourselves too hard, alright? Have fun in Michelin! Yay! This is just giving her dishes, and I don't know if I'm gonna do it all. That's part of the extra day that comes once we have all of the thing. Schmidt! Oh, there you are, Professor. Is there something special about that notebook? It looks like it's seen a few winters, to say the least. It's nothing. Merely checking its contents before I disposed of it. To ensure that nothing important was overlooked, you see. It is one of the few relics left by my first disciple, after all. That would mean that's Franz Reinford's. Even now, it is a treasure trove of ideas. It actually offered an excellent solution for a problem that I had identified. But we've already pulled out all the research we can. There's no reason to hold on to what remains. I thought that our time apart might result in something productive, but that hope appears to have been in vain. I see. Franz Reinford, according to what we saw in the spectral moon mirror, that was just an alias for him. I'll leave it to you to figure out where to go from here. Right, Professor, we'll do what we can. By the way, if you're not opposed, I'd be grateful if you could hold off on disposing of that notebook. Until we reach a conclusion with him, I mean. I don't see why not. I doubt I'll be in a position to deal with it tomorrow anyway. Thank you, Professor. Hey! We got Franz's thing! Oh, we can rest, but I have full HP and CP. It's looking like if I can manage to do them all. I know the Lakeside Beach has a very important sub-event. Fiona and Neidhart. Ooh la la. And that's Vita. Rose. The fact that I can appreciate alcohol, vegetables, and other delicacies in this form is an unexpected bonus. Alright, let us make the most of tonight. When you're in that form, even your tastes are more mature. Are we saying she mentally regresses? She helped me with all sorts of things in my role as an linguist. I'm going to miss that woman. Can we not be sad? Ah! I'm still upset at her dying, by the way. Or at least the way she died. If she had died naturally by essentially getting absorbed into Reen, I would have been like, okay, fine. Right? No shenanigans. I expected it. She went the path of Ruker. Fair enough. But the way she died... I want to go into the game and choke out Rufus Alberea. And then rip out his entrails. And somehow find a way for him to live through all of that. Maybe see if we can grant him that Divine Knight immortality thing and just torture him for all eternity. An Amberyl amulet. You got this for me. It's just a little thing, but I wanted you to have it. There's no telling what might happen after tomorrow, so I thought you should have an amulet for good luck. I appreciate all the luck I can get, soldier or no. Depending on how things play out with the Great Twilight, I might... I'm sorry, I just killed the mood, didn't I? It's fine. My father's a soldier. I know what it's like to have to wait for someone to come home. But do make sure you come home, Neidhart. I want to see you again. Fiona. I'll be back, I promise you that. I'll hold you to that. If I remember right, those two are officially an item. Hey, they're on a date. Let's go. They make a good match. Fiona's every bit as strong as he is. I would love it if Fiona just like completely like just demolishes everything. Let's talk to Valimar again. Because I want to talk to Valimar again. Valimar! Where you at, my friend? Let's see if he says something different. I suppose this makes you a Divine Blade as well now. Your swordsmanship has improved beyond what I can even imagine. I guess you saw everything then, huh? Sorry for making you move out of your spot for us like that. That said, I couldn't have made it this far without the Lieutenant General's help, or Viscount Orsade's guidance. Or Master Kafai's wisdom, most of all. You have your master, your mentors, and your peers at your side, each an invaluable relationship to you, no doubt. Though your actions tonight may result in another different relationship to cherish. What? Valimar! I love it! Even Valimar's calling Rain out. Let's go! My apologies, I was merely reminded of Drycles and Leanne. You know, that would have been an amazing relationship. You wouldn't want to leave any regrets. I'm certain others have advised you the same. Yeah, I hear you. I'll make sure to think it over. Well, that was definitely worth it. Alright, Lakeside Beach! Hey, there they are! Wow, what a view, huh? I never would have guessed we'd reunite on a night like this one. Certainly is lovely. Though we have been keeping correspondence, I believe it's been about a year since we last met face to face. You invited me to tea and gave me such a thoughtful gift back then. You remembered. Why, of course I remember. You were the one to teach me what beautiful form love could take. How could I ever forget? Well, you know, I was just a youngster back then, that's all. Come on, Anton, you're enjoying this way too much. Actually, that's not a bad thing, Anton. I love Shen, really. She may have rejected me, but there's something I need to tell her while I can. I do wonder, why did you choose to come so far as Erebonia now? This may sound presumptuous, but could it be that you came here to see me? He did! He's probably gonna deny it! Out of embarrassment or some weird shit like that, but he did. No, you've got it all... Actually, I mean, not all wrong. You don't know how much joy it brings me that you travel all this way for me. But as I already told you in my letters, you should utterly forget about me. I'm not the person you think I am. Wait, but... I'm sorry I haven't told you this before. My life is one that's shrouded in darkness. The way I conduct myself and the way I love with selflessness is to cover up that part of me. So please, stop this. It's best you never come and see me again. Sharon, you don't mean that. Perhaps I should have said all of this sooner. No, Sharon, can't you see? My heart aches when I think of yours. This man is straight up in love! Holy shit, Anton! You... Tell her how you feel, man. Tell her how you feel. You got this. I realized something. In your final letter, I got the feeling you were trying to push back your own emotions. Under all of that kindness, you harbor a terrible sorrow. It's weighed you down for a very long time, I believe. And that's why I had to tell you this one thing. You've had troubles in your life, and maybe you've lost hope in yourself. But I believe in you. Your experiences have made you who you are, someone who makes everyone around her smile. Sorry, maybe I've overstepped there. But I really need to get that off my chest. I needed to get that off my chest. I feel much better now. Anyway, I better get going, huh? Promise me you'll take care of yourself, Sharon. Anton, wait. Huh? You took me by surprise, but now allow me to say something in return. I feel that I can finally face both my family and even myself, all because of you. So thank you. I'm ever so grateful you came to see me. Cough. I love that. He choked and coughed. Anton? Your face is so red. Perhaps you should take a rest. Ricky, I think I'm in heaven. I only heard bits and pieces of the conversation, but it probably wasn't something I should be listening in on. So I'm pretty sure that Sharon feels just the same as he does. I'm glad that they were reunited before the battle begins. That's so sweet. I have to see this. Allies. Rosalia. Tearfully bore witness to the end of her friend Leanne's long journey, thanking her for her friendship. Vita and Blue Block ended up joining Arkanseal's performance. For many, it was a delight to hear the Azure Diva sing again. Even though Arian Road was killed by Rufus, the Steel Maiden's teachings will live on in the hearts of her Stallritter. Anton told Sharon her past has made her who she is today. This gave her the resolve to face her family once more. After deeming Alberic's Zauber sold out a failure, Schmidt chose to watch over George and join the crew of the Kratos. Interesting. Though she longs to care of her father, often knows there are greater things at stake, thus she returned to her duties. It's been a while since I got to relax with the family. Even with Cassius missing, the brides enjoyed their time together. From Gilbert's schemes. Mecha Mishi was finally revealed to be Mishi's long-lost brother. Jingo and Tio are deeply moved by this shocking twist. I love that. Nielsen provided the vast volume of the Black Records. Exactly how did the journalist come by it, and how much does he know? Difficult people in each of their lives. At least they know they aren't alone. Free from the curse thanks to Laura's efforts, he was impressed with how she had grown as a swordsman and as a person. Oh. Yeah. I read Sharon's. I was like, wait, no, Sharon's. And of course, the missing Toas. We'll have a big clash countless times over the years. They both seem to enjoy it. Yeah, because they're friends. I love that. Hold up. Please tell me that as a result, finally agreed to stop calling him Young Master. I love it. Sully! Cassius, true successor. Cassius had to judge if Reen had mastered the school's techniques. It was an honor to witness the skills of Kafai's last pupil. I always miss random. There's always some that I just somehow miss and I don't know why. Anyway, it's fine. I was never gonna get all of them anyway. Is that it? Because if that's it, entrance plaza. Because if that's it, we could start the soft resetting. Yoink. Oh, nope. What a wonderful evening. The cheering of the crowd at the Mishi really makes this place feel alive. You're not fooling anyone, you know. While I appreciate that you're pacing yourself on the drinking, you're still clearly on edge. Can you blame me? The fate of the world rests entirely on our actions tomorrow. A small case of worry is only natural. It is, but you're not worried about tomorrow. You're worried about your plan for tonight. I should have known trying to hide it would be folly. Of course you would see through me. You've been my bosom friend for over 20 years. Against my better judgment, clearly. Well, do whatever you feel you must. I'll be sure to drink a toast to your memory. You say that as if you don't believe I'll succeed. What's that all about? Something must be going on down tonight. Ooh, I think I know what it is. But I'm not going to say anything. Because it's not my place. Also, spoilers. Interesting. Run as fast as you can. Your name is Areen Schwarzerman. Margarita, when did you change? Oh, I got a little peckish, so I nibbled on a cereal bar I brought along. Would you like a bite? Oh, no, thank you, I'm alright. Such a peaceful night, isn't it? But my, how cold. I can feel my lips drying out already. They look dry to you, Vincent. Take a good close look. She asked me to kiss her. Why, oh why did she have to take a nibble of that cereal bar? No, how can it be so callous? Love is blind, is it not? No matter her appearance, Margarita is still my darling Margarita. Sure, we'll figure it out eventually. Oof. Oof. Poor Vincent. Man is unsure of himself. Hey, Elliot! Hey, sorry I'm late. Look who I ran into on my way over, though. Hi everyone. I know I didn't know you'd all be wandering the park together. That's right, we were planning on taking a look around as a foursome. Of course, you're welcome to join us, Elliot. I mean, the Ark and Seal Performance's rap party has kind of been put off after all. I hope you'll join us. And Ferris and I couldn't be there for the rehearsal, so we'd love to hear all about working with them. Well, sure, I'd be happy to. Also, I was actually planning a little performance of my own later. You're welcome to join me if you'd like. That sounds wonderful. There's nothing like music to lift one's spirits. Yeah, lifting spirits is what tonight is for. I'll lift the audience spirits so high, they'll rip right out of their bodies. That might not be quite as soothing as we're hoping for, man. Count me in too. This sounds like it'll be fun. It's so nice to see all of them laughing and smiling together. Looking forward to their performance now too. Welcome to the Castle of Mirrors. You all experience a no. Nope. I have one ticket, and Sarah's the only one left. Well, Celine. Ooh. Ring contacts his chosen companion on the Arcus 2. They use the such ticket to enter together. Sheesh, you need to give me more warning. Well, I didn't expect you to be in that form. So, what's wrong with it? It's an attraction for humans, so I thought this would be better. Hey, why are you laughing? I didn't say anything. Come on, let's go. Fine. This is the Castle of Mirrors. It's a little in your face, but it has a pretty mysterious atmosphere, I guess. It's like we stumbled into another dimension. The staff said there's a rest spot a little further down. Let's go. Yeah, that's why I didn't do the Castle of Mirrors. The other one is just like a game and I suck at it. There's the rest spot and stop for a break. Geez, seeing myself in the mirror like this makes it kind of hard to concentrate. But we're almost at the end. I wonder how good this fortune teller really is. Well, I heard the one back there is hers, so might as well ask what I'll have to meet tomorrow. Reen, you won't take it too seriously. What about you? What do I want to know? It's made to give off a strange and serious vibe. There's an oddly real spiritual aura about this place. Well, whatever. As a member of the Hexic clan, I'll get to the bottom of whatever this is. Woo! So this is like perfect to bring Celine in. Fortune teller's room. I'm pretty sure it's Beryl. I've been waiting for you both. It is Beryl. Let's go.
Welcome to the Room of Fates Unfolding.
I knew we would meet again, and I'm glad to see you looking well. I heard that you were working as a fortune teller here, so I decided to come here as a customer today. How about it, Beryl? That's no problem. Let us begin. What do you wish to know? So you'd like to know what will happen to you after tomorrow. Celine, would you like to know about her mission? Celine would like to know about her mission. Is this not so? What? Wait a second. How did you know it was me in this form? It's good to see you're still on top of things. Of course. Well, shall we begin? Reen, there are dark clouds surrounding your fate. They are so dense that my sight cannot penetrate, but that does not mean there is no hope. The key to scattering this fog is within the special bonds between your friends. And one more thing. The bonds between us. What's the other thing? Unfortunately, even I do not know what it may be. It all depends on your efforts tomorrow, including whether you discover what that is. I'm not sure if I really understand, but I'll keep it in mind. My efforts tomorrow. I guess I'll need to think about how I should spend my time before the final battle. And next, Celine, you'll be taking on a major role. Depending on how tomorrow goes, it may all be in vain. If you want to fulfill your mission, you must offer your support to the people you hold so dear until the very end. Sounds like the talk of succession we heard back at the Luna Sanctuary. That's right, but it doesn't sound like it'd happen right away. Can't imagine taking on a role like Rose had. I guess I'll have to manage somehow. I'll watch over you to the very end. That will never change. Thanks, Celine. I'll do whatever it takes tomorrow.
I pray fortune smiles upon you.
Until we meet again. That laugh is so creepy. They leave the castle of mirrors and its mysterious atmosphere behind to return to what they were doing before. Celine's bond is at maximum. So I had to walk back with Celine. They enjoyed the night air as long as I could until...
Well, guess this is as good an opportunity as any. I'd like to thank you for everything.
Celine. Oh no!
First, I was just a familiar, only doing what I was told. But through Emma, I met you. Being around you has helped me to understand subtleties in human emotions I'd never even cared to notice before. For all that's happened, I'm glad I got to experience it with you.
Nice. I feel just the same, Celine. Remember all that tension between us when we first met? Feels like just a happy memory now, huh?
Oh, come on. You're not still on about that, are you? Still, I think I understand now why Rose decided to live as a human. I've always avoided taking this form before, but now I almost feel a little proud of it.
Celine.
I won't back down after coming this far. Not when I have so much to live up to, as Emma's familiar and Rose's successor. Besides, I'm just as much a member of Class 7 as any of you, so count me in for the long haul.
Hey! She finally accepted being part of Class 7. Nice. I will. It helps to know we'll have you at our side tomorrow. We'll need your strength if we hope to make it through. As Rain and Celine spawned deepened, they both became stronger. Spirit Anima. Ooh. I didn't know that was a thing we could do. Okay. Daybreak Anime. CP gain plus 100%. What? Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Balance down 20% chance. Heaven Anima. Prevents KO. Revives with full HP. Arena only. So this is actually really good. Hold up. Bond with Elisa. Everything plus 100. HP plus 10,000. Item drop rate plus 50%. Okay. I'm gonna check no, it's equip. Aaron Pendant, evasion plus 10%. So that means either of the animas, this one, either this one or this one. But I think this one's also arena only. $30k HP, let's go! Just because it's even funnier this way. Love Anima. The Black Vajra. No, I need this. I need the EP. That's fine. I think that's every. No, hold up. There's one more thing I need to do. One more place, and then we will start the suffer setting. Okay. Save? Okay. Call it a day. Huh? Or mail now. I'll be waiting at the wetlands. CR. It could be a trap. Maybe I should just ignore it. You can end the evening free time from the L2 action menu.
Now...
Lakeside Beach? Literally, the wetlands is right here. What should I do? It could be a trap. Bro, you're literally a divine blade! Trap what? It has to be her, but why now? I don't want to make everyone worry, so I'll just go on my own. There's no way no one notices this. Ah.
So you came after all.
Yeah, I know all about it now. Most of the outfit. Oh, this? I wasn't sure about it at first either. But it's a uniform for the Knights of Blood and Iron. Oh God. I hate the Chancellor so much. Not really, but just ugh. I feel a little embarrassed wearing this thing, to be honest. Oh no, I think it suits you. It's really flattering. Wait, what am I saying? Rain, I love you so much. So I take it this means you're done with the RMP. Yes, now that Operation Jormungand is ready, the RMP will be obsolete. I'll be joining up with Governor General Rufus, Prince Cedric, Lecter, and the others tomorrow. We'll all be mobilizing on board Tuatha de Danann. I see. I'm sorry, I couldn't change after all. I set up this meeting so we could see each other one last time. Claire, don't go easy on me now. As an Ironblood, I have a duty to apprehend you. I can force you to go to where the upcoming rivalries will be taking place. Likewise, you have an opportunity to capacitate one of your enemy's pawns. I hope you're not going to pass it up. Either way, we both have a lot to gain, don't you think? You may be right, but I still haven't given up on you. Rain! Damn it! How? How can you possibly say that? I had you come here alone. I could have easily been planning an ambush. Please give me some credit. I would have sensed if there was anyone else here besides us. You came here alone, same as me. You didn't want Lecter or one of your other allies interfering, right? Besides, even if I wasn't able to sense a sneak attack coming, I know you wouldn't pull that kind of trick. That's not the Claire Revealed I know. Nobody bears a grudge against you. Not me, or Milliam, or Athena, or Yuna. Everyone in the old Class 7, even Sarah, would be happy to have you back on our side. There's no going back now. It won't change no matter what kind of front you put on, or how much you try to resist us. I'm sure it's the same for your brother and Major Irving. We all care about you so much. We'll never give up on you.
Stop it! How can you be so cruel?
How is he being cruel?
I stood by and let Milliam die. I'm still going along with the Great Twilight. Don't you dare forgive me. If you don't hate me, how am I supposed to?
Come on now, Claire. You know that isn't fair.
Hey, Milliam, let's fucking go. Milliam, you're here. Yeah, I saw you sneaking out. I got used to stand down while I came on my own to check things out. Should have known you were just going to meet a lovely lady. Oh, and speaking of that, your outfit is so cool, Claire. Right? How? My body may be gone, but my spirit lives on in the sword. And thanks to the Steel Maiden, I can walk around outside it again. Didn't Campanella tell you? Well, I guess he's not the type to share. Milliam, it's really you. I'm so glad. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to make you cry. I'm really bad at this stuff. I really need to work on my social skills. I mean... Yeah, you know Tina both. For different reasons. Milliam,
I'm not gonna make a mistake like that again. Even with what's happened, I'm still an Ironblood. I've gotta look out for you, too. Tomorrow, we'll finally settle things once and for all. With you, Lecter, Rufus, Gramps, and that newbie Prince, too. Me and Reen will get through to you guys.
And that newbie Prince. Oof. Ah, Milliam. She's right. We'll see you tomorrow. Regardless of Jormungand or Mil Mirage, I promise you that as a member of the Radiant Wings. Just have patience until then.
All right, if you insist. I'll be waiting for you. That's my promise as a knight and guardian of the Great Twilight and a pawn of the rivalries. When next we meet, I won't show any mercy.
Okay. We'll come at you with everything we've got. Reen received this Tachi and something else. Sorry, I didn't mean to waste so much of your time on an important night like this. But I'm really happy I got to see you. Thank you, Reen. You too, Milliam. Yeah, same here. Claire. So that pretty much proves that they know where we are. Ooh, that's a pretty fancy airship she came on. I wonder if it's one of those high-speed RMP dealies. Man, I wish we could have come along and checked it out. Bet it'd make for one heck of a joyride. If only things were that easy. For now, just seeing her face again is enough for me. We'll set everything right tomorrow. Yep, you bet we will. Meeting a secret like this is pretty fun, huh? I won't deny that, but we should be getting back. Roger! I love how it's just, I was like, someone has to know where we are, right? Like, I was like, there's no way he's coming out of this without anyone noticing. Milliam noticed. Of all the people to notice, I was sneaking away. Milliam noticed. Well, let's look at the item and then, Zerum Paddle 3. Zerum Capsule 2. We need more powders and capsules. Kaleido Hearts. Accuracy plus 100. Enemies drop more Sepith. A necklace with a Rainbow Jewel on it received from Major Claire. Yeah, I don't really care for it. Alright. So, save again. Huh? Oh, I accidentally pressed no. That's both useful and not so useful. Wait, it said an X. Calling a day will make the story progress. If you accept an invitation to promise to meet someone, special events will take place. Please note that all quests and some of quests you have yet to complete will disappear. End free time. If we get to see all of them, that's great. But if we only get to see one, then before long the festivities started to come to a close. Those who attended ready themselves to head back to the hotel. After parting ways with everyone, Reen found himself wandering toward the pier with no particular purpose in mind. Of course, if we only get to see one, then, that in of itself is a problem. Wow, you can see just about everything from here. The Courageous 2, the Merkabas, the Bobcat, even the Pentagrel. And across from it all, Crossbell City, and the blinding lights of Orcus Tower. The celebration's going to be over soon. Everyone's probably heading back to the rooms. I'll need to make a decision soon. Should I ask her to meet again? Should I stop myself, assuming the worst of my fate tomorrow?
What a wonderful breeze.
That sounds like...
Wow, this is an amazing view.
Oh!
I can see Mishalam, the Pantagruel, and even Crossbell City. Bringing me here to sober up. My, you really know how to show a girl a good time.
Oh, it's nothing like that. I simply got the idea when we landed here this evening. More to the point, I had anticipated your inevitable inebriation, my dear Shara.
You really do know me. This is nice. I miss those days when we were able to share drinks together. But you've been doing a fantastic job ever since coming back to the Empire. Though they call you Debaucherous Prince, you never let it get to you. You've been there for your family. Hell, the whole Empire.
Well, I've never been without people supporting me. Mueller, my parents, Alphen, Class 7, the Viscount, the Erebonian Bracers. I can't forget Lloyd's team, and, of course, Estelle and Joshua. But most of all, you.
No, I couldn't do a thing to help you. Sure, I held on to the artifact for you and acted as a liaison. But I couldn't stop the Courageous from being destroyed. I couldn't keep you safe. I'm sorry, Olivier. I'm sorry that I wasn't there for you. It must have been painful. You've suffered so much.
Now that you're here, all that pain is but a distant memory. We'll be there tomorrow. Together. That's all that matters.
But... No, you're right. Just leave it to me. The silver streak will light the way for your radiant wings.
I'll be counting on it. And it may not be fair to ask you at a time like this, yet. If we can claim victory in tomorrow's battle and stop the Great Twilight, if we can put out the fires of war and bring peace to this land once more, would you do me the honor of becoming my wife?
Did Reed run away? Whoops, didn't mean to invade their privacy there. Still, I knew they were close, but not this close. I guess the incident in Libero must have really helped bring them together. Can't say for sure if she'll accept this proposal or not, but I hope she does. I'm rooting for you, Your Highness. What am I saying? I have my own decisions to make right now. Who should I spend my last night with? Okay. Okay. I love how no one's an option. Oh my god, I love how no one's an option. Okay. We're gonna... Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. The last one we do will be Elisa. No one just seems like a cop-out answer. I should probably turn Elise down beforehand. So I really am the worst. Fuck you, Reen. Fuck you so much. I am the worst, aren't I? I'm like, yeah, let's spend the night with Elise. It's like, no, let's turn her. God damn it, Reen. My heart aches, man.
Reen!
God damn it, Reen. No need to rush, Elise. I'm not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere? I was afraid you'd be gone already.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you already have someone else to meet?
Not at all. Honestly, at first I hesitated to call, but in the end, I knew I had to go through with it. You were honest with me, so now I have to be honest with you more than anything. Oh.
I'm ready for your answer. Whatever it is, all I want is the truth.
Ah! Of course, I'll give you no less. You'll always be my little sister. That much will never change. 14 years ago, when we first met, you looked at me with those innocent eyes of yours. And even though I'd lost my memory, at that moment, I vowed to protect you my whole life. You're my one and only sister. It fell to me to make sure you were happy above all else. Oh, my heart. Damn it, Rean. Why do you have to suck so much?
Thank you.
Why do you have to suck so much?
I understand. You don't need to say any more.
I wasn't finished. Once you told me how you felt, my whole world spun. I didn't know how to react. But still, I was happy. That much I knew for sure.
What do you...
I'm the sacrifice, Elise. We don't know what'll happen to me after tomorrow's battle. You know that as well as I do. More than anything, I want you to be with someone who makes you happy. The more I thought about it, the more I wondered if I would even be the best person for you. Even before all of this, I'd always resented my own weakness. As a swordsman, as an instructor, and as a man. Rean, I hate you so much right now. Honestly, I find it kind of appalling how lost I got in my own self-loathing. So now I just don't know what to do.
Oh, Rean!
Whoa, did you hear anything I just said?
I don't care. That you even considered it is more than I could ever have hoped for.
Yeah.
It's like you said, there's no need to rush. As long as you know how I feel, that's more than enough for me.
I still hate Rean. At the moment. But, fair enough, I guess. Man hates himself so much. Jesus Christ, man. Well, that was poorly timed. Oof. We'll skip the Shara Oliver part because it's completely irrelevant after seeing it once. I don't need to see Oliver proposing.
It's so
10 million times.
beautiful.
It sure is. We have a lot to talk about tonight, about Mom and Dad and Ymir, and where we go from here.
Of course.
That doesn't sound like a rejection. Spent the evening before the final battle with Elise. A night of promises, complete Eventide. Okay, that's the end of Eventide, right? So, unfortunately, I can't soft reset itself, so we're just gonna full hard reset. I got the trophy, that's all that matters. Everybody confess to Rean. With the extra episode that we're going to do tomorrow, because the stream's going to end after we're done with all these cutscenes. With the extra episode that we're going to do tomorrow, where we go through all the trials and whatchamacallits. I'll see if there's any time after that to do the other ones, the ones that I have on the second file. Of course, I'm going to go search out the last two recipes first, and then we'll go back to wherever it is we are, and, you know, we'll do the thing there. Yep. Alphen. I'm kind of curious if I can do that from the options menu thingy.
Rean!
Your Highness, no need to rush. You're right on time. Princess Alphen.
I'm sorry, Rean. I tried to hold myself back. Really, I did. I know I'm not the one who should be standing here with you tonight.
I hate everyone.
And yet, I couldn't stop myself from taking advantage of your kindness.
Cool.
The fact that you're here alone must mean that you and Elise aren't...
So you knew. You're right, and I've already called her to apologize. I'll speak with her again tomorrow morning. Alphen's a good friend. I will say that. Alphen is a good friend. Please don't misunderstand, Your Highness. I'm not the kind of person who keeps his feelings bottled up inside. Certainly not not tonight of all nights. No one compares to you, not even Elise. Honestly, I can't believe someone as amazing as you would even consider someone like me. Seriously? He's more than willing to go with Alphen. Oh, well. Fair enough. But still, I wanted you here with me on what may very well be our last night together.
Rean? Rean? Oh, Rean! You have no idea how happy it makes me to hear that.
Poor Elise. It looks like Elise is the only one who gets rejected. That's terrible. Like, poor Elise.
I'm sorry, Elise. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too. It's gonna be okay. Elise will understand. Besides, I'm the sacrifice. There's no knowing what will happen in tomorrow's battle, and the fact that you're the princess poses its own sort of hurdles for us. Yeah, it does. I don't want to rush into anything while we're still so unsure of what the future holds.
It's alright. I understand.
Yeah.
Just being here in your arms is more than enough.
Now that one isn't poorly timed at all. That was actually pretty goodly timed. It's not firing off like at the end of a rejection. That was just ooh. A celebration at the end of a rejection is just kind of. All right, well, okay, so we're 0 for 1, or technically 1 for 2. They really went all out, didn't they?
So it seems. By the way, Rean, I have just one single request to make of you.
Anything.
Call me by my name. No more princesses. No more your highnesses. That's all I ask.
Of course, Alphen. Tomorrow we fight for the Empire's future, together.
Right. Together.
Arnor Ardor. What? Spent the evening before the final battle with Alphen. I should have done this for all 4 of the games so far. But of course, me being the dummy that I am, I didn't do this type of thing before. So it's just kind of like... It's looking like we might finish at like the 2-hour mark-ish. I will of course then, you know, hit the stream button thing and we will, you know, go from there. Because remember, I have to go grab the last 2 recipes. Because I wanna do like a route. It's gonna be like tomorrow's stream is gonna be really short. Is essentially it. 2 down, 3 to go. Alright. Next one, we're gonna pick Muse. Like I said, last one will be... I think before I go pick Elisa, I'm gonna do like a meme no one. Just because that one sounds hilarious. Call it a day. I'm pressing options, by the way, so as soon as it gives it. Okay, who will you spend the final night with? Muse. He doesn't mention anything about a rejection on any of them except Elise, and I kind of tempted to check with a skip.
Instructor Rean!
There you are, Muse. You know you didn't have to run all this way.
Perhaps, but I wouldn't want to waste your time. After all, now that the party is over, you surely have none to waste before your little rendezvous. You and your beloved, locked tight in a secret tryst, while I lay in bed alone, face buried in a tear-stained pillow.
Oh, wow. Wow. Ouch. That's some imagery right there, Muse. Hey, now that's...
So, who's the lucky lady? Elisa? One of your other classmates, perhaps?
You.
Of course, I mustn't discount Instructor Toa or Sarah. Oh my! Don't tell me it's Yuna! Or maybe even Elise?
I love how she's skirting around saying her!
Instructor Rean? Well, regardless, I'm glad I was able to be this close to you, even for a little while.
For once, you've got it all wrong. I'm not meeting with anyone after this. No tryst, no secret rendezvous, nothing.
What?
Ha Oh no, wait!
What?
In 3, we got all the trophies for everyone just for spending the day with them. For the little ticket thing. So I technically did do it in 3. Just not in 2 or 1. Although in 1 I couldn't because of the way I did it. And I don't remember 2.
What are you thinking? There are so many others out there who would give anything to be here with you. Too many to count.
So I think I only actually messed it up once. In 2, I think. Oh, no, I did do 3. 3 was Heimdall. Where was 2? Where the heck did 2 end? I have no idea. I don't remember.
Tomorrow is our final battle. You should be spending tonight with someone special.
So, for a genius, Muse is an idiot.
So, why? Why bother at all with the empty words of a rotten girl like me?
Honestly, I hesitated a bit at first. And yet, I still called out to you over anyone else. Suppose I wanted most of all to make sure you were at ease, given everything that's going to happen tomorrow. No, who am I kidding? The truth is, I just wanted to see your face.
Instructor Rean. I had always thought that you'd already seen through my act. I thought that no matter how much I flattered or teased, it would never mean anything more to you than just...
Well, I'm a man, aren't I? I can only take so much teasing and beguiling before I start to crack. Yeah. Now that I know the worries and struggles you go through, the determination behind everything you do, is it really so unbelievable that I might think of you as something more than a student? She's crying. Nice. You made her cry, man. You absolute douche.
I can't believe it. You really... My heart... It feels... like it's going to explode. I just can't help myself.
That's understandable. Feelings aren't pieces you can play on a board after all. Teaching that alone is more than enough to make my choice worth it.
That's not fair at all. You're the adult here. You should know better than to toy with a young maiden's heart.
That one was so perfectly timed. What the hell? And I love how she's in the Duchess regalia still. Sorry, that was a little much, huh? But for tonight, we're still teacher and student. I need to make sure I don't cross that line yet.
What do you mean, yet?
He means just that! Yet!
I never imagined you'd turn the tables on me like this, instructor.
Honestly, I'm a little surprised too. Sorry if it was unexpected, I hope.
Damn it! I love you!
Whoa! Hey! Okay! Okay! I was not expecting her to shout it that loud. Muse to my ears. Ooh. Ansei. Spent the evening before the final battle with Muse. 13.5%! Does anyone ever try and go for all of them? Like, I think the only one I'm missing is Toa at the end of this. Is there a trophy for spending it alone? We'll find out after Yuna. Yuna's next. And then we'll do Alone, and then we'll do Elisa. Luckily, the Cassius fight isn't too long. I can quickly do that. As well... This game supports autosaving. Do not switch off your PlayStation 4 system while this icon is shown. Imagine if the power goes out while that icon is shown. Oh no. To be fair, there's the last autosave, and then there's the autosave at the beginning, at the end of each, like, section. Call it a day. Imagine rejecting everyone. Like, imagine. Imagine that. Rejecting everyone and just spending the night alone. That's like the easiest choice to make because just press X. So as the menu pops up. Oh yeah, she's still in her casual clothes.
Instructor Reen!
I think Reen and Altine are the only ones that are actually like available. That are actually like in their normal like Cold Steel 4 clothes. There you are, Yuna. Sorry, it looks like I got here a bit too early.
No worries. I'm just glad you're here. But what about everyone else? Are you sure it's okay meeting up with me like this?
Why is every girl like insecure about meeting with him? Honestly, no, I wasn't sure. And yet, there I was reaching out to you. You were directed your feelings for me, so it's only fair I do the same for you. It just felt like the right thing to do.
Hearing you say it like that is a little... Still, I've been preparing myself for this. Whatever your answer is, I'm ready to hear it.
We got 2 out of 3 so far? Getting a yes out of Reen? Like, poor Elise, honestly? Oh dear, I probably shouldn't laugh. That's so sad.
But before that, I wanted to apologize.
Honestly, the Elise scene makes me want to vomit. Like, the poor girl got rejected. Apologize for what?
After the tennis match. In the heat of the moment, I just unloaded all my feelings on you out of nowhere. I know you, Instructor Reen. Once I confessed, I knew you'd put all your effort into coming up with just the right response.
I still love the fact that she has glasses in this, even though I'm the one who gave her the glasses. It just really suits her.
I know it couldn't have been easy for you. I must have weighed you down with my feelings.
At least you weren't literally everyone else who's just like, yeah, I don't care how you feel. I'm just gonna tell you how I feel. I'm just like, oh. Well, that's nice. Or Muse, who kept like shoving it in his face. Oh, dude.
I wish I could just brush it off as a joke. Say I was just kidding or something. But I can't. Because none of it was a joke. I meant it all. Every word.
My heart.
I like you, Instructor Rean. When I'm with you, I'm always home.
I don't think like is the word you want to use here, you know. You know. You know I'm the sacrifice. There's no telling what might happen in tomorrow's battle. Kept putting this off, telling myself that now isn't the right time, but maybe there was never a right time to begin with. Maybe in truth, it was I who hadn't come to terms with my own feelings yet. There's just something about you, your dedication, your perseverance. But nevertheless, you're still my student. Oh.
Huh?
I have a duty as instructor, and that's a line I just can't cross. Ah! 2 out of 4! Oh, that's terrible. Reed, you are an absolute douchebag. If I did, I wouldn't be the same man you fell for. Until you recognize that distinction, I'm afraid I can't, you know? She's gonna punch you.
Seriously? You're gonna come this far just to pull another one of your lectures on me?
You tell him, you know.
Of course you did. I mean, why wouldn't you? And I even kinda like that about you too. But...
Oh.
But... come on! Fine. In that case, please, at least promise me this.
So Alphen and Muse got a yes. Yuna and Elise got a no. I really want to see the rest of these now.
Promise me you'll make it through tomorrow. I want you right there watching me when I graduate. And then, once that happens, we won't be teacher and student anymore.
Yeah, this is true. Yuna. Alright, I promise. Sorry I have to put this on hold for so long.
Don't worry. I can wait.
Okay, so 2.5 out of 4. It's like not a full rejection, but like a I'll wait until you graduate, which is kind of... That's so weird. Anyway.
No matter what happens, my feelings for you will never change. I promise.
There's the Yuna I know. Ah, I can't wait till Hajimari no Kiseki. Again, poorly timed fireworks. I probably shouldn't laugh. But to be fair, I feel so bad for the two of them now. That's so mean. Because Alphen and Muse are the same age. And Muse's his student too. So
beautiful.
That's just messed up. Because the 4 girls are the same age. But 2 got rejected and 2 did not.
It's almost like they're all out there cheering us on from the sky.
I know exactly what you mean. Let's give it everything we got, you know. Help me keep my promise to you.
Right.
At 2 rejections, I kind of want to throw up now. Universal feelings. Oh god, that's a terrible... Spent the evening before the final battle with Yuna. Okay, let's see if there's a trophy for alone. Oh dear, that image right there. That would actually be a cool wallpaper image. %12.3%. Completely filled a Chevalier. Angler God. Pom Pom Pro. Obtained every trial chest. We're gonna get this one tomorrow. Hopefully. War Quaffers. Over 1,000,000 Mira. Heavenly Jewel. Full charge rivalry. The early bird gets the win. Alright, let's do Alone. Right? Let's do Alone. And then we'll do Elisa. Because I'm curious what Alone is, what no one is. Like, what happens if Reen rejects everybody? Does it autosave at the beginning, at the end of it at all the time? That'd be hilarious. Is there an end even tied? Act 1, Act 2, fragments, Act 3. Nope. Even tied did not end because I didn't click end yet. Okay. Holy hell, man. Ugh. But seriously, that's just messed up, man. Okay, no one. This is scary. Oh, Reen. Weren't you going somewhere? No, I had some things to think about. I don't want to imagine things ending like this. Once everything's all sorted out, I'll talk to her again. I see. Well, we definitely expected that from you, Reen. Oh, that's right, Machias. Is that Patiri girl here? No, we're not like that anyway. Come to think of it, weren't you talking to a few girls, Elliot? Yeah, I was just thinking of heading out, actually. Gaius and Eustace are probably going to be out late, too. Is that right? Why am I the only one left flying solo? I mean, Reen is also flying solo tonight. See you guys later. I won't be too long, but if it gets late, don't feel like you have to wait up. Go ahead and have fun. Don't trip over yourself having a good time. Crow! Even Elliot's got a date tonight, huh? By the way, Machias. Are you really that unlucky in love, dude? That's enough to break my heart. Well, you're one to talk. Forget about it. The three of us can have a drink together. At least we've got each other, right? Oh, they released the Sky Lanterns. They're really beautiful. So that's what going alone means. Bachelor party. Okay. Oh, the Bright siblings. Oh yeah, I wanted to put everyone in their branch campus uniforms. Lol. Oh, there's no trophy for it. There's no loner trophy. Wow, rude. Okay. I want to find Eustace and get a tongue lashing from Eustace first before we do Elisa. Cuz this is the final run. So I can actually move around now. Eustace is right here on the beach, if I'm not mistaken. Assuming he hasn't moved. Reminds me. Oh, still a frame, good. It took us 36 minutes to do... 37 minutes, apparently. To do all of this. Yep, Eustace is on the wharf. Let's go get a tongue lashing from Eustace. Williams is loud and loud as ever, but given the situation, it might be better for things to be lively tonight. We gotta meet up with Tilly and the others later. Oh, by the way, you play Vantage Masters, don't you, Rean? Let's got some new cards from Crow. And after combining them with the ones I got off Eustace, I've made a pretty impressive deck. We should play when you get a new god set. You got it. I'm more than willing to take you on. She can hold cards? I mean, apparently she can sit down and she can tackle Eustace. There's only so much movement you can do in a chair. That's the only defense to my very jagged dancing. Jagged and jank. Before long, the festivities start to come to a close. Skip scene. We want to go with Elisa, the queen. We got all of them but Alphins in 3. If I remember right. Elisa! Elisa's the one waiting instead of Rean? Interesting.
Rean!
I'm glad you came. For a moment I thought you weren't going to show.
I'm sorry.
I see. Then you don't?
Oh no, that's not what I meant.
Rean was like, oh, am I getting rejected? Honestly, if you had, I would have been like, that's what you get, son. Like, you don't break 2 girls' hearts and just be like, come out of it unscathed.
I'm sorry for all the trouble I've caused you, when all you've done is your best. And I'm only realizing now how stupid I've been acting this whole time.
Elisa. You don't need to think of it like that. You did what you had to. I'm pretty sure Rean Elisa is like the canon pairing. Like, pretty sure. On the sacrifice, Elisa. No one knows how tomorrow might turn out. This might be our last chance to talk. I don't want either of us to have any regrets. That's why I asked you to meet me here.
Rean.
Elisa, I need to tell you how I feel.
Wait. Please, let me say it first. This time, for real. I'm going to be brave, so please. I love you.
Well?
I know it was selfish of me to go back on my words before. But I can't give you up. I just can't. I want you, Rean. Here, with me.
Elisa. I feel exactly the same. Ah! And here I was hoping he'd get his just desserts. I want to be with you too, Elisa. Poor Elisa and Yuna. Like, poor Elisa and Yuna. Like, ouch. I feel so bad for those two. Like, they put themselves out there and they got rejected. And not for any decent reason.
Beautiful.
Right? Well, okay, fine. Elise had was given a somewhat legitimate reason. They were raised as siblings for like the longest time, so fine. But Yuna's excuse, Yuna, he had zero excuse considering he was able to accept Muse. So I just feel really bad. Yeah, almost like a dream.
Rean, I'd like to stay with you tonight.
On the bench? In his room? In your room? Gotta be more specific, girl.
Would that be okay?
Of course, the whole night through until dawn breaks. Oh, please don't stay outside until dawn. That would be bad. Or Bobo. The puns! The puns! The only one that's normal is Family Ties! At least Alphonse was in Arnor Amor. I would have just been like... although I think Ardor means the same thing. Only one way to find out. What the hell does Ardor mean? I'm gonna look it up. If it does mean the same thing, I'm going to... Enthusiasm or passion? I hate puns. I hate puns. It's official. It's official. I hate puns. There's the autosave. System save. And proceed. Everyone's gearing up. I think it's time for Muse to get out the Duchess attire as well. It's the final battle, boys.
current time is 05:13 hours. All ships will be in position by 11:45 hours.
We've got the Bobcat 2 and the Merkaba, not to mention the Pantagruel landing craft and the Ouroboros ships.
Each team will infiltrate their assigned pale. Once the barrier is down, the Courageous 2 will charge the Imperial Fortress.
If all goes according to plan, it should be 12:30 hours by then. You shouldn't need to worry about interference from the Imperial Air Force, but be vigilant for the Crimson Ark.
That's right. It doesn't appear as though they intend to directly participate in Operation Jormungand.
Agreed. We should all be on our guard.
Your Lordship, Sharon, Angelica, Duvali.
Rose, Tita, Randy, we're all counting on you.
Got it. The rendezvous with George isn't until after 11, though.
I would like nothing more than to be of use to you. If there's anything at all you require of me, please, don't hesitate to ask.
Same with me. I'll lend you my aid where I can.
I'll be sticking around until you guys meet up, too. But it looks like Lloyd and the others aren't going to be free until the very last minute.
It's the same for Estelle's group, too. I'm going to give this everything I've got, right until the very end.
Damn! Elise and Alphen type fast.
I can go wherever I'm needed. Maintenance, ground patrol, whatever you need.
You young folk can take care of all the preparations. We shall sit back and wait for our turn to arrive.
If you require assistance with tactics or have questions about the ship's operation, I am prepared to offer my assistance.
Thank you, Father.
You too, Grandmother. But don't get too excited, okay? Seriously, you have a tendency to get way too worked up.
And sometimes not enough.
Hey, do not talk to your creator like that.
I know we'll be in good hands.
Shall we get started then?
Yes. This could be our final special ops mission.
Between the Pales, the Imperial Fortress, and the imminent war, anything could happen.
Nah, you guys get some more missions. I hope. I actually don't know what's gonna happen in Hajime no Kiseki. All I know is that it exists.
Shit's looking crazy as hell down there.
Yep. We got a number of requests, too. Best check them out before you forget.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Some of them seem pretty important.
Seems like there are a bunch of magic knights and cryptids popping up, too.
Yep. So, the next day is gonna be like 3 days worth. Fair enough.
At this point, it would be best to handle everything all at once, yes?
Yes.
It seems we'll have a chance to show the world what the Radiant Wings can do.
Well, we got like 6 hours, so...
Good luck, everyone. We'll be supporting you from here the whole time.
Got it. We'll be counting on you. Okay, Class 7. Our final batch of Special Ops missions begins now. Let's be the flashing blade that illuminates the darkness. Together, we'll light the path ahead for the world. We're all going to have to work together to make this happen. The deadline is 1100 hours. We'll need to finish everything up by then. May Adios be with us. Let's go, Class 7!
Right!
I'm so glad I didn't get to say a single thing in that. Finale! Scattered petals, dying flames. Oh dear. Alright, alright, alright! Boom, 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 and boom. Oh wait, we should have what's his name for the finale on our party. Okay, fine. Right, Yuna, Muse, Ash. The situation in Western Airborne has changed completely. You can now explore Stargazer's Tower. About Emilium's orders. If used in your party, Emilium's Brave Order White Decoration will be available. New weapons and armor can now be purchased in all areas. Thanks for waiting, Reen, and sorry for being so abrupt. The final volume of the Black Records is deciphered at long last. So you're finished. Thank you for being so diligent with this. Let me tell you, this volume had some very intriguing things written in it. But I think it'd be best for you to read it for yourself. I'll transfer everything to Orcus 2 at once. Cannot thank you enough, Thomas. Can I read the Black Records? Woo! Shara 2 and Oliver 1. Okay. Need to check this out first. Check requests. The Alster Harvest Festival. Alcer. Bridget. And Einhell Keep. The hell? Okay. First things first, we need to go to Ordis! Harbor District. Wait, no, it's Miranda. From cutlass sandwich. You tried the recommended dish. And next is... we can open all of the chests. Right? The last chest is in Stargazer's Tower. I have no idea where Stargazer's Tower is, though. Like, I actually do not remember where Stargazer's Tower is. Oh, there it is. And then leaves. Is it really outside? That's actually perfect. Yoink! Reen, Ash, Laura, and Gaius! And with that, all the trial chests! And we can actually do all of them, which is great. So, we just need to go to Islamir, leaves. Thor's branch campus. Where's Thor's? It won't let me travel! Ree! Ugh. Oh, by the way, as you can tell, I need to go use the restroom like a lot. So, but you know, I'm just like holding it in at this point. Branch campus, student cafeteria, and then we need to grab this last thing for our special episode. Everyone, I heard about Operation Shining Steel. I'm completely on board with it. We're just wondering if there was anything we can do to help. But we can't even use the terminals properly, so we were talking about supporting Celestine and the others while they're in their big meeting. Gina, Frankie, thank you. Just knowing we have your support is already pretty great. We're all part of Thor's. We need to work together. Celestine said, I'm good at cleaning, so you can leave all that to me. Yeah, and I'll keep all of you well fed. It's all I can do, but I hope it'll be a small comfort to everyone. Please do your best. I'm rooting for you all. You tried the recommended dish? Memorize the recipe for 4. And that's all of them. I don't get the recipe, the recipe trophy, unless I make all of these, which is really bad. But with that out of the way, back to the Courageous' Bridge. And that is going to be it for the stream. Well, for this part of the stream. I will be back tomorrow for the extra episode where we do the trials and whatnot. For those of you in the stream, stick around. I'm going to be testing something, and you guys get to see it. But yeah. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.